I bought this motorcycle in 2022, and sometimes people will say that motorcycles are just pieces of metal. They don't really have souls. But I would spend a year fixing this motorcycle to get it back on the street, and now it would be time for me to part ways with it at the entire attachment that I've had with this thing. But before I could do that, I would have to go through everything that I've learned with this bike and also give it a good buff and polish before it goes to its new owner. Alright people, it's my last few moments with the Super Chief Limited. It's been a long time with this bike and it's time for it to go. But of course, now that we got the bike detailed, the best way to send this thing off is to get one last ride in. So let's do that. Man, this is a really bittersweet moment for me. I'm not gonna have any more bikes if I keep selling them and giving them away. It needs gas. It needs gas. I'm gonna go put some in it. My Achilles heel is gonna be a day where I'm gonna actually really need some gas. All right, baby. One last rodeo. Last time I put gas in this bad boy. 700, man, and 81 miles. This thing doesn't even have 1,000 miles on it. That is a chicken wing or chicken bone, what's left of it. Cut that cruise control off. I did a decent job on the paint. It's not perfect. Just my luck, I spill gas on it. Alrighty. Okay, second to last startup, I would say, or third to last startup, I don't know, but not too many left. I'm gonna miss this thing, man. It sounds so good, rides so good. Honestly, I think it's the best riding Chief I have. I'm just gonna bypass this lady. So much crap. Oh my goodness. I think it's really cool, man, that this bike is definitely the bike it's had the less miles out of every bike I've done so far. Thing's like hella sweet, man. Some people may not believe me when I say this, but I do feel sad when my bikes leave me, but I try to look at it from this perspective. If a bike teaches me something new, then I've won with rebuilding that bike. And I've been thinking a lot about this lately. This second point is that I know you all watching, you get attached to the bikes as if they're like, because each one has their own personality, they have their own story, they went through their own, like they have their own life as far as what they went through, right? And for me, I'm here to rebuild them, learn about them, and put them back together and try to do more bikes. So with this bike, got it over a year ago, and the bike was in just terrible shape, right? Front end was smashed in. Surprisingly, it didn't have much body damage outside of the front end, but the deeper I got into it, wow, that is gorgeous. The more I realized that the bike had frame damage. And because of that frame damage, I had to strip the bike down, you know, find somebody that was going to be able to fix it correctly, which involved a whole, you know, month process of taking the bike through to another state having that work done, spending the money for it, and then also having to find a welder to weld the bike for me and learn about that entire process of welding. And then the bike had a gas leak, understanding what I needed to do to fix that, right? And then fabrication work. This was my first time using the fabric to have something fabricated, and that involved, you know, giving them the wheel to have the spacer made. Well, actually that was with the other bike, but all of this was kind of intertwined with the other Chief. But you know, having a frame corrected, understanding that process, feeling the difference in this bike and how it rides compared to my other Chiefs, I can feel the work that they've done to this bike. And yeah, I'm not gonna have the bike much longer, but it just feels good knowing that I put everything I could into making this bike better than what it was. And it just feels good knowing that right now this bike is, my hands are off the handlebars and it's riding straight down the street. I'm really proud of about to stall. I'm really proud of what this bike started out as and what it is now. Like, I'm really proud. When it comes to these bikes having personalities and you guys get attached to them and me no longer having them, again, I've been thinking a lot about this, and my hope is that you guys become more accustomed or maybe attached to the learning process and seeing the different projects that I take on rather than the bike itself, and making sure, you know, that I'm doing everything I need to do to make sure that the bike is safe to ride. And you know, it's not so much about who gets the bike, because I can't control who gets it to an extent. Like, unless I'm, you know, selling it to them, I can say, hey, I'm not going to sell the bike to you. But when in this case of the giveaway, this is what the universe wanted. It picked the individual, and I think they're gonna really enjoy it. I've talked to them frequently about the bike, and you know, it's unfortunate that I don't have the capability right now to go out there to deliver the bike to him and also maybe ride with him a little bit. But we've saved that hopefully in the future when I am in the Dallas area to do that. But just know, I'm always thinking how the departure of, oh, I got some polish there, how the departure of these bikes affects you guys. Because like I said, I do feel something when I'm parting ways with these bikes. It's not just like I'm just turning them. I mean, I'm trying to get them in as fast as I can to get more out so I can get more in, because I'm so attached to the learning process. And you know, this bike was supposed to be my experimental bike. You know, I did do the cheating wheels on it, but it was supposed to be the bike where I was going to do performance modifications to. And when I built the purple frame Chief, I had all of my resources into that bike, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to keep that bike instead, and that's going to be my test bed for different things, because I do want to make parts at some point. I've been learning CAD, trying to study that whole process, learning more about, you know, motorcycle geometry and different things, composite material, and it is a full-time job just trying to learn that stuff, not including building bikes and YouTube and different stuff. So I'm very much invested in having a bike that stays, and that right now is the Purple Chief, and also the 109 whenever it does get back. So this is goodbye with this bike for now. I do think I will see this one again, because it is not too far from me. It's not like in California where the first Chief is and also the Lowrider S, but I do get frequent pictures of that bike and conversations of how that bike is doing. So it's more polished. It's just yeah, I can't keep everything. So last ride, we're gonna get it home, bring it in home, and we're gonna get it on the truck safe. Oh my goodness. It does handle so good, man. This bike handles so good. All right. Last ride, baby. It's been fun. It has been fun. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. but I know you're going to a good home, and that gives me comfort. Oh, that paint though. And my tag. Can't have my tag, buddy. It has to follow me. Just like with everything else I do here, it's been an absolute pleasure rebuilding this thing and being able to show you the entire process from start to finish, getting this thing in the garage, going through the challenges with this thing, and to getting it back on the road. So now we just wait for the transporter. They'll be here in about 20 minutes and get this thing loaded up and it's headed to Texas. The bike will sit there so the transporter will see it as they drive up. Appreciate it. Should have seen it when I bought it.
Yeah.
Crushed.
Was it?
Yeah. That chieftain is going somewhere for audio work, which is kind of interesting. People ship bikes all across the country using haul bikes. All right, y'all, one last look. Man, it looks so good. Sure. Thank you, brother. You be safe out there, please.
No problem, man. You see that?
Bye-bye. And just like that, Super Chief Limited is gone. It occupied this space for over a year, but I'm not short of projects. I still got the CBR torn apart, we got Magnum torn apart, we got the Sportster that just got in, and we also got Super Chief that's for sale. If anybody's curious, you see how you can easily get this bike shipped anywhere in the country if you really want it. I think this is the end of the Super Chief Limited series, at least from my perspective. The bike is now headed to Texas. Ricky, you should have the bike probably in a couple of weeks. I got a few more bikes I need to work on and possibly fill in that space where Super Chief Limited once was. But don't forget, again, Super Chief, you can have this bike shipped anywhere in the country. So if you want a Super Chief for a lot less than the price of a new one, reach out. The bike has less than 1,000 miles. But as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.